To the House take note on Christmas facilitations. I call the member for Terrigal.
Thank you very much, Mr Assistant Speaker. On this day, the last sitting day for 2019, I want to acknowledge and thank the so many people who make this place run. The Speaker, of course, the member for Davidson, the Leader of the House, the member for Bega, the incredible Angus Mackenzie-Wills from the Leader's office, and Taylor Gromowski in the Premier's office. My shadow, the member for Shell Harbour, Anna Watson. We have worked very well together this year, and she's taken to it, running down the executive hallway like a gazelle. And to the incredible Colleen Symington, who has already been mentioned here in the Opposition Whip's office, who also does an amazing job. The clerks play an enormous role in making this House function. They have been a huge assistance to me as I have started in the role of Government Whip this year. Their advice on matters of procedure and practice are, of course, invaluable. I have to acknowledge Helen Milliken, the clerk, Les Gagne, the Deputy Clerk and Sergeant-at-Arms, Carly Maxwell, Clerk Assistant Table, Simon Johnson, Director of Procedural Research and Protocol, and Elaine Schofield, Director of Committees. I want to thank the many staff who look after us in this place. Hansard, you are amazing. You make us look so much better than we really are. The chamber attendants, Ian, Danny, Monica, Hayley, April, Peter, Ian, Chris, of course Kylie, who's in the chamber at the moment, the IT services, the catering team, Mark Sheehan for providing my office with chamber footage, IT services, the special constables who keep us safe, EO services. Now the best cleaner in the whole place, the famous Marta. She is soon to become, I hear, a resident of the Central Coast. I look forward to welcoming her to my electorate. She does an amazing job looking after the Whip's office. Another group of people I want to thank for their work, of course, are the ministerial staff of this government. All staff members have a tough job in balancing the many demands on their time and, of course, their minister's time. I would like to name all of the staff, of course, but I particularly want to mention the following for their work this year. The Premier's Chief of Staff, Sarah Cruikshank. Deputy Chief of Staff, Neil Harley, Private Secretary Peter Demery, Michael Evangelides, Bryce O'Connor, Liv Graham in the Deputy Premier's office, Chris Ashton in the Treasurer's office, Anne Lewis, who runs the Leader of the House's life, Leonie Lamont and Simon Santo in the Health Minister's office, Katie Stevenson, Tom Looms and Alexis Scott in Minister Stokes' office, Priya Pagadithaman, I hope I got that right, Priya, in Minister Dominello's office, Cam Dunga in Minister Mitchell's office, and Ed Strong in Minister Elliott's office, to name but a few. I wish I could name all of you for the great work you do, but time would not permit. The events of this year are, of course, very different to what we might have expected 12 months ago, Mr Assistant Speaker. Our success at the state election in March is in a huge part thanks to the fantastic Premier we have. She is also incredibly popular on the Central Coast. Everyone knows her as Gladys. In our local area, Mr Assistant Speaker, I was very lucky to have secured a number of visits from the Premier over her past 12 months. And I think she has visited the Central Coast more than any other Premier in many years. As part of our election in March, I had a large and committed team that worked night and day, all unpaid, to ensure the Terrigal electorate remained in Liberal hands. I want to thank all of them and all members of Liberal Party branches in my conference for their incredible effort. Not only did we win the seat, but we increased the margin by a very significant amount. Finally, there are the very small number of people who made my office here in Parliament and my electorate office in Erina run so smoothly. They are my work family. I have 4 staff, Mr Assistant Speaker, but together we achieve a lot more than you would expect for 4 members. Kerry-Anne Delaney, who runs my life and makes sure I'm always in the right place at the right time. Donegal Lightly, who is a huge asset to our team, and I sincerely want to thank her for the way in which she ensures everyone gets what they need. Ben Sheath, who wrote this speech. We often joke about how our council and the other large organisations have communications and marketing teams with dozens of people. I have one person, and he does better than that large team indeed. Last but not least, of course, the Whip Secretary, Rebecca Cartwright. She effectively runs the entire government on sitting days and is incredibly experienced at what she does, and I say to you, Beck, thank you. Being the government whip is very unique to any other job, Mr Assistant Speaker. I want to acknowledge my great colleague Steph Cook, the formidable Nationals whip, and her secretary Viv, Lee Evans, my great deputy whip, and of course Natasha McLaren-Jones, the whip in the upper house. I want to thank all of my Liberal and National colleagues who mostly do the right thing, and ensure that Parliament can run smoothly. This is a great time for this government. I'm so proud to have been appointed the Government Whip. I am so proud to be delivering my first Christmas felicitations as the Government Whip. And I want to also wish all of those members on both sides and all of the staff a very Merry Christmas, and we look forward to seeing you back again in the new year.
Nice.
I thank the member for Terrigal. You could have thanked the Assistant Speaker, but that's okay.